We're carrying on today in 1 Samuel. We're at chapter 22. We're about two-thirds of the way through this book as we are plowing through the Bible. We're making good progress. One chapter at a time, but it adds up, doesn't it? So in 22 verses 1 through 10, the Christian Standard Bible has a heading, Saul's Increasing Paranoia. So David left Gath and took refuge in the cave of Adullam. When David's brothers and his father's whole family heard, they went down and joined him there. In addition, every man who was desperate, in debt, or discontented rallied around him, and he became their leader. About 400 men were with him. From there David went to Mizpah of Moab, where he said to the king of Moab, "Please let my father and mother stay with you until I know what God will do for me." So he left them in the care of the king of Moab, and they stayed with him the whole time David was in the stronghold. Then the prophet Gad said to David, "Don't stay in the stronghold. Leave and return to the land of Judah." So David left and went to the forest of Hareth. Saul heard that David and his men had been discovered. At that time Saul was in Gibeah, sitting under the tamarisk tree at the high place. His spear was in his hand, and all his servants were standing around him. Saul said to his servants, "Listen, men of Benjamin, is Jesse's son going to give all of you fields and vineyards? Do you think he'll make all of you commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds? That's why all of you have conspired against me. Nobody tells me when my own son makes a covenant with Jesse's son. None of you cares about me or tells me that my son has stirred up my own servant to wait in ambush for me, as is the case today." Then Doeg the Edomite, who was in charge of Saul's servants, answered, "I saw Jesse's son come to Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, at Nob. Ahimelech inquired of the Lord for him and gave him provisions. He also gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine." Then verses 11 through the end of the chapter have a header, slaughter of the priests. This is a really sad account after the information here that Doeg just revealed. The king sent messengers to summon the priest, Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, and his father's whole family, who were priests in Nob. All of them came to the king. Then Saul said, "Listen, son of Ahitub." "I'm at your service, my lord," he said. Saul asked him, "Why did you and Jesse's son conspire against me? You gave him bread and a sword and inquired of God for him so he could rise up against me and wait in ambush, as is the case today." Ahimelech replied to the king, "Who among all your servants is as faithful as David? He's the king's son-in-law, captain of your bodyguard, and honored in your house. Was today the first time I inquired of God for him? Of course not. Please don't let the king make an accusation against your servant or any of my father's family, for your servant didn't have any idea about all of this." But the king said, "You will die, Ahimelech, you and your father's whole family." Then the king ordered the guard standing by him, "Turn and kill the priests of the Lord, because they have sided with David. For they knew he was fleeing, but they didn't tell me." But the king's servants would not lift a hand to execute the priest of the Lord. So the king said to Doeg, "Go and execute the priest." So Doeg the Edomite went and executed the priest himself. On that day he killed 85 men who wore linen ephods. He also struck down Nob, the city of the priest, with the sword, both men and women, infants, and nursing babies, oxen, donkeys, and sheep. However, one of the sons of Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, escaped. His name was Abiathar, and he fled to David. Abiathar told David that Saul had killed the priest of the Lord. Then David said to Abiathar, "I knew that Doeg the Edomite was there that day, and that he was sure to report to Saul. I myself am responsible for the lives of everyone in your father's family. Stay with me. Don't be afraid, for the one who wants to take my life wants to take your life. You will be safe with me." And that ends chapter 23 as we just continue to watch Saul unravel. And a man who had such a good start is just doing horribly at this point. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. It's Sunday if you're watching this on the day it posts. hope to see you tomorrow and hope we have a great week up ahead. Take care.